astronaut Felix Semdex broke the world record for solving a Rubik's Cube at the Cube for Cambodia event in Melbourne. The Australian broke the previous world record of 4.59 seconds by solving a 3x3 Rubik's Cube in 4.22 seconds. In what seems like no time at all, Semdex managed to solve and match the colored squares before his hand even hit the timer. Across 5 solves, his average time was 5.8 seconds, which also happens to be the world record he has held since 2017. According to Daily Mail, when Semdex broke the record, he stood up and embraced his friends and competitors. He is a member of the World Cube Association and has nearly 300,000 subscribers on YouTube and more than 90,000 friends on Facebook.
A new solar-powered iPhone X Tesla has been released by Caviar, Russian accessory maker of gold iPhone editions. This iPhone is even more expensive than the gold-engraved phone editions, but could be more functional considering the solar panels actually work the way they are supposed to. If the solar panels work, it could lead to spending less time connected to the USB cord for charging. The iPhone X Tesla would come in a black velvet box rather than the cheaper white cardboard box. The price starts at $4,500 for the 64GB model and nearly $5,000 for the 256GB version.
This week in history. On May 13, 1981, Pope John Paul II was shot twice in St. Peter's Square in Rome. The Pope later recovered and publicly forgave the would-be assassin for his attempt on the Pope's life. On May 14, 1607, the first permanent English settlement in America, known as Jamestown, was established in what is known today as Virginia. On May 15, 1981, George Wallace was shot while campaigning for presidency in Laurel, Maryland. On May 16, 1862, the controversial Women Act order was put into effect, declaring that any woman in the South showing disrespect towards Union shoulders would be seen and known as a prostitute. On May 17, 1875, the first Kentucky Derby took place at Churchill Downs in Louisville. On May 18, 1920, Pope John Paul II was born as Karol Wojtyla in Wałęsa, Poland. And finally, on May 19, 1925, Malcolm X was born Malcolm Little in Omaha, Nebraska.
First Lady Melania Trump says she is feeling much better and looks forward to returning to the White House soon after she had kidney surgery on Monday. Mrs. Trump's communications director, Stephanie Grissom, said that Ms. Trump underwent an embolization procedure to treat a benign kidney condition, adding that the procedure was successful and there were no complications. President Trump has said that his wife is doing really well and that she would be leaving the hospital in 2 or 3 days.
Watch your lettuce. There have been at least 14 states in the U.S. affected by a dangerous E. coli strand spread by romaine lettuce, Virginia being one of them. 35 reported cases of illness from consumption of the tainted romaine have occurred. The problem first arose in January but was not properly addressed and brought to public attention. It is suggested to avoid lettuce, and if you must eat it, make sure it was not grown in Yuma, Arizona, including bagged lettuce, salad mixes, and restaurant lettuce. E. coli symptoms can take as long as 3 weeks to appear, so anyone who has eaten the lettuce after the 27th of March may not have had symptoms yet. Washing your food could reduce some contamination, but it does not kill the bacteria. So stay safe.
Large areas of hardwood forests here in Virginia are being cut down to create electricity for Great Britain. They are attempting to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 57% by replacing coal with wood as fuel. They are chopping the trees into wood pellets to send overseas for fuel for Britain's largest power station, Drax, in North Yorkshire. The power station claims that burning pellets rather than coal reduces emissions. However, dispatchers ran an experiment in the science lab of the University of Nottingham to test the carbon dioxide emitted. They found that to burn the amount of wood pellets that would generate the same amount of electricity as coal would actually produce 8% more carbon dioxide, a large contradiction to the statement the power station claims. This is because biomass is viewed as carbon neutral under European rules. Drax Power does not have to report the emissions from the wood that is burned, allowing Britain to claim the use of green energy. The trees they are burning would take decades to go back to their original size, and even more to absorb the carbon dioxide that was released.